Good evening. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Joe Ryan. Today we're talking about Minnesota Twins, Blizzards, and baseball. This is the first podcast of this Blizzard season, so we're going to go into it because the Twins have had a whole bunch of canceled games. We are live at twitch.tv/DIRJK. Um, yeah, so welcome to the DIRJK show, the Dirjk show, the unpronounceable podcast. I'm your host, Joe Ryan, and tonight we're talking Blizzards and baseball. Hit us up on Instagram at DIRJK underbar show, Twitter at DIRJK underbar show, at gibbonwire.com at u/DIRJK underbar show. And you can, again, watch us live at twitch.tv/Dirjk if you're catching this on the podcast at somewhere else if you're listening to this a couple bit later. First off, shout out to Elsie's in Northeast Minneapolis, where I actually had dinner tonight while working on the podcast because one, they have free Wi-Fi, and two, they have some amazing, amazing food. I had their standard. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like their ultimate fiery burger. It was okay. It had some spicy mayonnaise and some jalapenos and some other stuff on there, but it was all right. It was all right. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Oh, also, last thing is you can actually get us at, if you're listening to us live, not on the thing, we are at Anchor FM, anchor.fm/the-dirjk-show. You can get us there. It's the easiest way to start a podcast, the easy way to listen to a podcast. You can find us through whatever podcast app if you just search for us, DIRJK Show. Yeah, so let's get right into it. So it's about 8:15 now, and we're going to be doing roughly. We got a couple of topics to talk about. So let me pull up my stuff here, and let's get started. Yeah. So number one, it snowed over a foot today. Let me show you here. So you can see us here on, for those who are listening to the podcast. I'm sorry you can't see what's going on, but if you're watching live at Twitch, I've got my Instagram picture. My truck was completely snowed in today. It snowed probably a foot and a half. Well, probably about a foot in the last 24 to 48 hours in Northeast Minneapolis. And yeah, so you can see here on the screen, basically the snow. I parked on the street because I had my motorcycle out already, and it's already in the driveway. So I was like, well, it's snowing. I don't want to put my motorcycle in the street because it's going to get stuck. So I had my motorcycle in the driveway, and then the truck in the street. Because I was an idiot and got my motorcycle out last week because it hit 50 degrees. So, but that's all right. But anyways, yeah, the snow is all the way up above the level of my door. So like way high. Plus, I was snowed in a little bit because they had already plowed, so it had been piled up a little bit in front of my tires. You can see it there. It completely covered my front tire, and almost completely. It's about halfway up the back tire. Luckily, I do have four-wheel drive, so I was able to just. It took me a while to do the whole rocking back and forth thing to actually get it out. It took me about a minute, less than a minute, to get my truck out of basically behind the snow. I did move it. I did move it to one of the side streets where it's not where the snow emergency doesn't go into effect until Tuesday morning at 8, so it should be safe there tonight and tomorrow. Not get ticket, not get towed, which is good. Um, but so yeah, it's a blizzard. The Twins have had on Friday their game was postponed slash canceled against the White Sox because of rain slash cold. Saturday it was postponed slash canceled. They haven't announced if they're going the dates of when they're gonna replay these games, so I don't know if they're canceled or if they're just postponed, which is fine, I guess. And then today was canceled, and then tomorrow's an off day, so we basically have 4 days of no baseball. And yeah. Oh, hold on. I just got. Let me see if there's Let me see if my audio is working here on the podcast. And yeah. Oh, hold on. Yep, it's working. Okay, good. So yeah. So this brings up the huge debate which has been going on in all the Twitter sphere, Instagram, and basically all the different Twins blogs and Twins news like Star Tribune, Pioneer Press, or whatever, because there's nothing to write about. We haven't played any games of baseball really because of all the weather. So everyone's like, oh, we should have built a roofed stadium. We should have had a retractable roof. We should have had this. We should have had that. Well, let me just say right now, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So one, this is a historically cold slash wintry April for Minnesota. Like we're breaking records here, right? A foot of snow in April 15th is basically unheard of. The average temperature is usually 50 some degrees now, normally. So I am really, really glad. I mean, I should say I really don't really care that a couple games at the beginning of the season are going to be snowed out because one, come June, July, August, September, like going to the games live, sitting outside, like we have one of the best outdoor stadiums in the world, basically for baseball. And if we had a roof on there, that would just be, I mean, it would wreck it. Because where would the roof go if it's a retractable roof, right? Let's say it's a retractable roof. I mean, let's talk about the location of the stadium. There's no room for it. There's no room for a roof. Like 394 is right there, 94 is right there, downtown Minneapolis is right there. We built the stadium basically on top of a parking lot. There's no space. So people who are saying, "Oh, we should have a retractable roof," are stupid and dumb, and I hate them. To be quite honest with you. And then you know what? You know what else? I don't know if you remember this, but taxpayers are the ones who paid for that stadium, and the cost of a retractable roof would be even more. And it, oh man, one, I hate the fact that I have to pay for it with my taxes. Even though I love the stadium, it's a private company. Baseball is a private company. The Twins are a private company, and they're making profit off of it, which is fine. They needed a loan, that's fine. But it pisses me off that we had to pay for it in the first place. But that's a whole different argument. So that's fine. I guess. I guess that's fine. So, long story short, if you're one of those people who say we should have had a roof for indoor baseball, one, shut up. You're wrong. And then if you're one of those people who say we should have had a retractable roof, also shut up. You're wrong. That's basically as clear as I can be about it. And then for those who are saying like we should play at US Bank Stadium, I mean, yeah, the argument's there, but the problem is they've got other stuff going on. They've got some kind of um motocross event going on tonight in this weekend. So it's not exactly like, you know, we can just take over their space. There's other stuff that happens. So yeah, that's basically what I think. So it's April 15th. We got a foot of snow. It works out all right. So that's pretty much how I feel about the snow debate and open air stadium, and we're probably going to hear about it a lot more for the next week because there's really not much else to talk about. So you know what? Just ignore it. It's just people who are just need content. That's really all it is, which is fine. But let's actually move on and let's talk about the actual important thing that happened today or this week. So Joe Mauer, the darling, the hometown hero of Minnesota baseball, Joe Mauer, hit his 2,000th hit, and he is now one of three Twins players who have had 2,000 hits, which is, I mean, honestly, that's pretty impressive. He didn't get it. I think the other one is Kirby Puckett, and you know, I'm gonna have to look it up. Who's the third guy? Twins players with 2,000 hits. You can hear me typing there. Joe Mauer becomes the third player. Who's the third? It was Kirby Puckett, and let's look at Twinkie Town. Shout out to Twinkie Town. I like their stuff, although I wish they posted more often. Joe Mauer, Rod Carew. Rod Carew was the other one. I mean, so yeah, joining the likes of Rod Carew and Kirby Puckett, it's basically, I wouldn't say it solidifies because Joe Mauer is already pretty much one of the best Twins players of all time, depending on how you look at it. And he's arguable. I mean, with all of his gloves, Golden Gloves, and awards and batting titles and everything else, he's doing really, really well. So I'm yeah, it's a pretty special thing. A big thing that everyone always brings up is a concussion. Yeah, he had some down seasons because of his brain injury. He's had some. Well, he had to switch positions, and everyone's mad about his contract. And you know what? It doesn't matter. This week, he hit 2,000 hits. It hit great. It was absolutely wonderful. For those watching on Twitch, I want to I want to show you. I found MLB.com put out this GIF of Joe Mauer's comparing. We got it up on the screen right now if you can see it. It's Joe Mauer's first hit from way back in like 2000. When did he start playing? 2004? 2006? It was like a long time ago. 2002 maybe? I can't remember. I think it was 15 years ago, so 2000. I don't remember when Joe Mauer's first year was. I was still in high school back then. It was a long time. But watch. So his first hit, I think, is on the it's on the right here, as you can see. and then his 2000th hit is on the left against the White Sox, and it is exactly the same swing. It is exactly the same ball position. The catcher does the exact. Well, the catchers are a little bit different. It's kind of funny to look at the difference in stadium. So that his first hit was back at the Metrodome, right? I think it was in the Metrodome. Um, but like, look at the ads. Look at the design of the Twin Stadium. It's really interesting to see. It's really interesting to see after the Metrodome compared with the Twins with the Target Field. But yeah, talk about consistent. Joe Mauer's got such a good swing. Like I think he's actually let me pull up the stats on him. I think he's currently the third best batting average in the American League for players that have at least 10 plate appearances. Excuse me. Yeah, let me look at my notes here. He's batting 4.12, which is really, I mean, as of today, right? It's April 15th. So it's still beginning of the season, still really low sample size and all that nonsense that stats nerds always bring up. But, who cares about that? He's batting really, really well so far this season. He's third in the American League with at least 10 plate appearances for average. I think he's second best in OBP in the American League, as long as, 10 plate appearances with 5.45, which is just great. I mean, he walks, he gets on base, he does everything. I actually really like watching him hit because I don't think that he changes his swing depending on people on base. I mean, obviously, I'd have to look at the stats. I don't really know. But I feel like he's one of those players who doesn't feel pressure. He's just as good under pressure as he is, like, if he's first up in the first inning, which he never is because he's out at bats third or fourth or second or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you just got to give credit to Joe Mauer for being so good and so consistent. God, look at that swing. It's just great. He shifts his weight. He moves his back foot in order to drive his power. He's basically falling down. His swing is hitting the same 45 degree, I think it's 45 degree angle. He swings out as hard as he can. He swings out his hips, shifting his weight. He's just a really, really good, fundamental, great swinger. Great hitter. He's patient. He gets on base. What else? According to my notes. Oh, he's got second. Oh, I think I already said that. Second best OBP in the American League. He's got the 10th base OPS in the American League of all batters with at least 10 plate appearances. And that's with a 1.075, which is, I mean, great. There's been a lot of talk about Joe Mauer being in for MVP and basically getting it his first year of eligibility. I don't know, because we still have to deal with the fact that it's the Minnesota Twins, and people who don't live in Minnesota don't care about the Twins. We're kind of a forgettable team, especially considering that even when we've been good for the past 20 years, really, even when we make it to the playoffs, we always lose basically the first round, usually to the Yankees. I mean, not all the time, but most of the time. So we're a forgettable team, so our players are forgettable, which is unfortunate because we do have some good we have some good players. Yeah. So what else do I want to talk about today? So Jose Berrios. Let's bring up him. He pitched a great game the other day. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0, big fat 0 earned runs, 11 strikeouts. 11 strikeouts with 99 pitches, right? Let's just do the math on just that one. So he's getting 11 strikes out for 99 pitches. That's every 9 pitches he got a strikeout. For every 9 pitches, he got a strikeout. Wow. That is just, I mean, that's great. That is one of the best. What is he? He's leading the team in whip. He's got a .63 whip, right? Which is great. He's got an ERA of 1.13, which is really, really good. He's got 20.2 innings pitched. So, again, caveat, not a lot of innings so far. Not a very small sample size for the season, but overall, he is someone to watch. He's someone great. Like I mean, 11 strikeouts in a game. That's almost unheard of. It's really, really impressive to have 11 strikeouts in a game. Yeah, so he's got 20.2 innings. So that last game that he had is roughly a third of his season so far. So he's had, I don't know how many appearances he had. It's either 3 or 4. I think it's 3 games. But he is the number 1 pitcher for the Twins with innings pitched. He's our number 1 in terms of volume. and he's doing great, and I really like him. I think he pitches next. So with all these postponed games because of the snow, our whole rotation's messed up. So I'm not really sure when he's gonna pitch next, but I'm looking forward to it because I mean, you can't go wrong watching a game with Jose pitching because he's just great. He's just really, really good. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about him. Except excited for his next game. Um, so it should be kind of a good time, I think. Speaking of pitchers, our pitcher battle is coming up in Puerto Rico. I think our next game is against Cleveland Indians on. Let me pull up the schedule here. I don't know if we can close them out or thing. Where's the Twins? I think it's either on Tuesday or Wednesday. I know it's not Monday because it's Monday's a travel day. Tomorrow's a travel day. And I saw on Instagram and Twitter that they're all flying down, and I guess that all the Twins players had a theme. They chartered a flight from MSP down to Puerto Rico. All the Twins players showed up in like island attire, like Jimmy Buffett stuff, like the old retired man's uniform of sandals, flip flops, shorts, and Hawaiian shirts. Yeah, so we are playing Tuesday. Is that Tuesday? We're playing Tuesday and Wednesday versus the Cleveland Indians in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm pretty excited about it because, well, it's a little bit earlier game, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see the first couple of innings, but I'll probably watch it on like delay and watch it through. Although I do like being on reddit.com/r/Minnesota Twins. I love their live threads. So if you're listening to this and you like the Twins, also get on that live thread thing. I'm not going to tell you my Reddit handle because I want to keep that anonymous. So, but the cool thing about this series, well, it'd be even better if we would have finished the series against the White Sox. But the cool thing about this upcoming series with the Indians is we're actually number 1 and number 2 in the American Central Division. We're number 1, 7-4, the Twins, and then the Indians are number 2, 8-6. So what's interesting about that is they've actually played 3 more games than us, but so. I mean, it's so beginning of the season. We're basically the same team here, right? I think it's a point. What's 7-4 average? I'd have to do the math, but we're in terms of percentage winning, it's very close. It's very close. Let's see if I can. Well, that's all right. So, but on the 17th, the pitching battle is for the Twins. It's Jake Odorizzi, and then for the Indian, it's Corey Kluber. Both right-handed pitchers, which pretty standard right-handed pitchers. Nothing too exciting there. Let's see. Corey for the Indians has a 1.57 ERA. I don't know how many innings he's pitched. Let's see if I can find it here. Cleveland Indians. So MLB.com has some great stats. I really like looking up their stuff there. Cleveland Indians, we want their pitching. And we're going to look at this. So where is Kluber on here? Kluber. Oh. He's got 23 innings pitched. All right. He's played in 3 games. Pretty good. He's got an ERA of 1.57, which it looks like is the lowest on the Indians. So it's hit there. It looks like he is their best pitcher. The next closest is Goody with 5 games, but he's only pitched 5.2 innings. So basically he comes in, closes out with a 1.59 ERA, which is pretty good. But people who on this team who have more than 10 innings pitched is Kluber, Bauer, Clevenger, Carrasco. And Kluber's definitely got the lowest ERA there with the 1.57. He's got a WHIP of 0.65, which is honestly pretty comparable to Odorizzi, right? So Odorizzi has a 2.2 ERA, and let's pull him up, actually, if I can get this. See, the cool thing about stats is you can get a good picture of them, but the shitty thing about stats is that it doesn't really, I mean, yeah, it's got a low ERA, but a lot of that can just go to shit if, like, some people get on base on errors, and then suddenly someone hits a home run, and it just happens to line up where they just get like 3, 4 runs in an inning, then your ERA is shit. It just goes to crap, especially this early in the season. So we got the Twins. We want pitching. We want to look at Odorizzi, right? He is ERA of 2.2, 3 games pitched. He's got 16.1 innings pitched. I think I said that already. And he has a whip of 1.35. So, it's still pretty good. He's still probably the best Twins pitcher that we got. So it's going to be a really, really interesting battle on Tuesday. I think, who is the pitchers on Wednesday? Honestly, I'm more interested in the Tuesday game than the Wednesday game, mostly just because I may not be able to watch the Wednesday game, and so I've been looking at the Tuesday one. I do hope that we win the 2-game series, or at least go 50-50. It'd be nice to go 2-0, as long as we don't go 0-2, to be quite honest. So that's pretty much what I'm excited about. Actually, let's look at the pitch. Let's see if we can find out who's pitching on Joe Mauer. Look at that face. So this is Odorizzi. If you guys are on Twitch, you can see it. He is he's a normal-looking guy, but he's making a goofy face. I feel like he's one of those guys who he likes the game, he likes to pitch, I think he likes hanging out in the dugout even on his days off. He's just one of those cool guys, I think. So overall, I'm pretty excited about Tuesday's game. All right, who is playing? Where's our schedule here? Who is playing? Who's pitching, excuse me, on the 18th, the second game of the season, of the series. Wow, I can talk correctly today. So on April 18th, Tuesday game, they're playing in Puerto Rico. It is Josh Tomlin, who is a right-hand pitcher for the Indians, and it's Jose Berrios. Yes. Oh, now I'm really excited about Thursday's game. I wasn't before, but now I am. I really want to see Berrios play. He is great. He's probably the best. Well, I was saying this earlier. He's probably the best pitcher right now on the Twins so far this season. Got a lot of potential, but again, early season. Don't necessarily know how it's going to go for there. So, who is this Josh Tomlin guy? Let's pull up his stats. Josh, is this a Cleveland one? Yeah. Pitching, Josh Tomlin. Is he even on here? Is this his first game? Oh, he's number 12 here. Oh, right. Can you guys see that? Again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I would recommend going to twitch.tv, signing up for it, and then listening live when we do this on twitch.tv/dirjk. So you can see what we're talking about. You can see the stats. You can see the pictures. It's a much better interactive experience. We've got live chat for people who want to watch. And then also follow us on Instagram at drjk_show, just so that you can get notified when we go live. You can see the posts, and then you can actually get involved. We're looking to do that, get more audience interaction. But anyways, Tomlin, he's Cleveland. He's pitched 8 innings, which is not a lot. He's played for 2 games, so that means he's averaging 4 innings a game, which is not very much at all, especially for a starting pitcher, right? He's got 4 strikeouts on the season, which is not. He's got a 9.0 ERA, which is the worst. It is the worst on that team. It's the worst. I mean, that is not a good ERA at all. Like, usually a 3.0 to 4.0 is like decent, average, somewhere in the middle. Anything above that is really just not good. To be fair, though, he hasn't pitched even a full game yet. He hasn't done 9 innings. So, in its early season, so that number could come down. That number could come down a lot, actually. He's got a whip of 1.88. He's got a ERA of 9.0 with 8 innings pitched. So that will be an interesting battle. Obviously, we've got Jose Berrios. How do you say that? Berrios. Our best pitcher, hands down, our best pitcher, pitching against their worst pitcher. Yeah. I'm going to call game 2 for the Twins. I'm calling it right now. Game 2 for the Twins. I'm not going to call a score, but I am going to call for the Twins. Let's see what they say. He had a back issue in his 2018 debut. So he's injured. He's pitching? Wow. But he did do a 5 shutout innings against the Detroit Tigers. I mean, that's kind of interesting, but let's pull up the Tigers. I don't think they're any good. Right? Aren't they last in the division right now? I really do like MLB.com's website. They make it really easy to see at least the general overview of stats, although they won't give you. It's kind of hard to do like in-depth stats. Except I am looking for. I'm actually looking for the AL Central's rank. I think Reddit has it. AL Central. So currently, the Detroit Tigers are 4th in the division, 4-9, which is not really good at all. So I guess it's impressive that the Cleveland pitcher Tomlin shut him out for 5 innings, but it's not as impressive as it could have been. So again, calling Game 2, Cleveland Indians Twins series for the Twins because Jose Berrios is pitching. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, overall, I'm really excited that we're finally getting back into Twin season. I'm excited that we're finally getting baseball again. I wish that we had we didn't have so many lost games and so much travel time and off days because of. I think we were part of 3 season openers, home openers this year, right? So we had the first game was someone else. It was the other team's home opener. So then there's a day off, and then I think we played for. Where's the schedule here? Right, and then we had another where we played an away game at someone else's home opener, so we had another day off. And then we came back for our home opener, and then we had another day off. And then we've lost so many games to the weather that it's basically like we haven't really gotten into the groove. The Pirates. On the second, we played the Pirates at their home opener. I watched that game. That was a disappointing game. That was a very disappointing game, which is fine. So yeah, what else have we got coming up this week? We got Tampa Bay, Friday, Saturday. Is that Friday? Yep. This next coming weekend. It's going to be in Tampa Bay, so I doubt it's going to be weathered out. So we should be fine with that. We got a 3-game series. And then next week, I'm actually really excited for it, even though they're kind of sucking this year. We've got a 4-game stand against the Yankees in New York. I'm actually looking to move to New York for a job. So, although that's up in the air, I would love to go to Yankee Stadium, watch the Twins beat the Yankees, and just ground them into dust. Like if the game was like a 14-0, I would laugh so hard. It would be so great. I mean, I know it's not going to happen. The Yankees are doing okay this year, but they just had a homestand against the Red Sox. And you know what? I'm just going to say right now, I'm not ever going to go into details about the Yankees and the Red Sox because fuck both of those teams. Fuck them so hard right in the butt because they have way too much money. They have way too many good players. They have a back office that actually wants to win, which we do this year. But the Twins, like for the last decade, I feel like our management was like, yeah, as long as we're a middle of the road team, we'll make a bunch of money, we'll be okay. And I hate it. So I'm really really glad that one Malter's our manager now, but I'm also really glad that the back end has finally of the Twins have finally caught up and they're changing their structure. They're changing their system. I do software development for a living, and I actually saw that the Twins are hiring basically a couple of data analytics program, and they're developing their own software in order to better evaluate players and players' swings using machine learning and basically, um, what's it called? Oh, I'd have to pull it up. I think they're doing like vision. What was it called? Machine vision, basically, where a camera automatically like assesses how good the players is in terms of their swing, and it micro analyzes like the level of the swing, the angle of the swing, the weight shifting, um, which hopefully will make the team much, much better. But then again, if they're just hiring for, this is like 2 months ago that they were hiring. It was just at the end of spring training that I saw that the position was still open. So let's assume that they actually hired someone, like say the next day. They would have started on maybe 2 weeks later, which would have been after the season opener. So I'm not actually sure if the players, because I mean, think of the time frame. The whoever software developers got to build the software with the machine learning and everything. Let's give it a month or 2 or 3, and then basically, and then they got to integrate it into the systems of the Twins player development and training. So we're not going to see any benefit from this for at least until after the All-Star break. Most likely not until next year, which is disappointing. It is disappointing, but it's also, it's hopeful for the future. I'm excited about that. So I think that could be really cool. So yeah, I want to take a break and shout out to my sponsors. So Creative Ape Studios is a local Northeast Minneapolis. Well, let me pull up their website here for everyone on Twitch. CreativeApeStudios.com is a local Northeast Minneapolis-based software development shop, and basically what they do is they build websites, they build apps, they build algorithms, they do investment stuff. Basically, if you need software built, if you need help with your website, if you want to build an app and be the next billionaire Silicon Valley guy, they are the software developers for people who don't know how to build software. They're trustworthy, they're connected to the community, they're local, they're based in Northeast Minneapolis, they're really good at what they do. They have a whole bunch of stuff on their websites. They've been featured in the Pioneer Press, a whole bunch of stuff. I actually use their website GivenWire as a new social media thing. I'll show you my thing. They made this. Basically what GivenWire.com is, you can sign up for it, and it's got all of your social media in one place. And then your followers, and you guys can sign up for this too if you're watching this, you can actually get your email address, put in your name, and you sign up for email updates. So essentially, if you want to get an email update every week about everything I've been doing on all the social media platforms, you can get that. Or maybe you want to like follow someone else, like an Instagram celebrity or something. You get them, they have it too. It basically is just one-stop shop, one-stop place for all of your social media. So Creative Ape Studios actually built it, and they've built other apps. They've done some other stuff. You can scroll through their site to see an example of all their stuff. You can reach them at creativeapestudios.com/contact. They've got a link up on their blog. You can reach them by email. You can reach them by phone. You can do all kinds of stuff. Reach out. Tell them that you heard about them from the DIRJK show, the Dirjk show, however you pronounce it, the unpronounceable podcast. And I think that they're going to throw you a free consultation or something. I think a free consultation. So yeah, shout out to sponsors. Also another shout out to Elsie's in Northeast Minneapolis. Let's pull up their website. They might not have a website. This is not sponsored at all. I just happened to be at Elsie's earlier today. Yeah, Elsie's. It's blizzard out. I didn't want to stay home. They have free Wi-Fi. I was working on the podcast notes there. Got dinner there. They're a really good thing. I think I mentioned it earlier. So head out to Elsie's. It's a great place. I was there. It was basically empty, but I know that other people have been there too. So yeah, check it out. All right, back to the Twins. Back to the Dirjk show. Let's see what else we got to talk about. What else is I got here in my notes? We talked about snowed out games, the roof. Oh, man, the roof. Don't even get me started again on that. No roof for baseball in Minnesota. Talked about Joe Mauer. Where's Joe? No, that's not him. That's all right. We talked about the upcoming stand against Cleveland, Puerto Rico. A lot of the articles I've seen there focus on the fact that we've got a lot of Puerto Rican players, and the Indians have a lot of Puerto Rican players, which is great. Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. But I just don't care because I'm not from Puerto Rico. I have no connection there at all. It's kind of like I don't care if like our players are from Wyoming because I don't have any connection to Wyoming. It's kind of the same. That's how I feel about it. But I do know that a lot of people care, and I think it's kind of cool that we're playing there because Puerto Rico is pretty great, and they got hit by that. Was it hurricane earlier this year, and they got completely fucked up. So hopefully we can do some good. I did see that the Twins have some kind of charity drive that they're doing for Puerto Rico. Although I'd have to look up exactly what it is. How do you spell Puerto? Let's give them a plug. Might as well. I don't know. I had to look into it. You guys can Google it, or you can look it up on Bing or something. They're doing some kind of charity drive there, which is good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We've been live for the whole thing. We covered everything I wanted to talk to. Again, you can watch us live whenever we do this, because we do this podcast every so often at twitch.tv/dirjk. We're also available on Instagram at instagram.com/dirjk_show. Twitter, same dirjk_show. We have a YouTube channel. I'm not sure if we're gonna keep updating and get rid of it. We're also on Gibbonwire at DU. Their address is a bit different. They got the U in there. gibbonwire.com/u/dirjk_show. Sign up for email address updates there. I think that's going to end it for this episode of DRJK Show, the Dirjk Show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to cut live and upload. Again, also subscribe to us on anchor.fm/DRJK-show. That one's slightly different. Again, I'm Joe Ryan. We're based in Northeast Minneapolis. We will see you next time. Thanks for listening.